This is a truly heartbreaking video to make. Unfortunately, one of my chicken is having Marek disease and he's dying, and he's in a completely separate box very far away from here. As soon as I caught it, I just separated him, but there's the possibility that all of my chicken might have it and might get it in the next days, because when chickens get infected with Marek disease, they take some time to show it, which is more than 3 weeks. So they might have gotten it when they were still inside my home as very little chicks, because right now they only have very few weeks. And unfortunately, as of today, I've had to separate my polpetta from the rest of the flock. He keeps going around trying to get together with the rest of the flock. But the thing is, I don't know if you can notice it, but look at his legs. He walks with a bit of a jerky movement, and his toes were flaring upwards every 10 seconds or so to try and balance him. You can see it here, and I will show it to you again in slow motion. And you can see that right now he's a bit agitated because I've just put him here and I've not separated him from the rest of the flock, because anyway, if it is Marek's disease, all the other ones have it already. But I am just hoping with all of myself that it's just a vitamin B2 deficiency, which he has had in the past 2 times. I made a video about him when he was a couple of days old. So we will know if it was a vitamin B2 deficiency, because he should get better in a couple of days. But if it does not get better and it actually gets worse, then it's probably something else. What I'm going to give him is a very concentrated vitamin B supplement for chickens, and inside of his water. So I'm keeping him separated with a higher vitamin B dose, while I'm giving to the other chicken a vitamin B supplement, but it's going to be less concentrated in their water. So yeah, fingers crossed. I just wanted to show you that polpetta is back in the flock. So it's not like his symptoms have completely disappeared. He still has some kind of instability in the legs. However, the improvement is that I do not see his toes flaring up, at least not as often as before. Like maybe I catch it once or twice in a day, while before it was seriously every 10 seconds. Like it was impossible to not catch it. And he also looks better and he sleeps less. So I am keeping my fingers crossed that the issue was again just the vitamin B2 deficiency. So this is why he's back in the flock. So because vitamin B2 deficiency is a recurrent theme for polpetta, I'm actually giving him my bolted spinach, which are full of it, as well as this other plant I'm going to show you. It's actually for me a weed, and I'm letting it grow enough so that I can pick it for my chickens, and it's as well full of vitamins for the chickens. So yeah, I will write the name for it because I forgot what it is in English. In Italian it's just called farinello. And so that's what I'm doing to try and give them a booster, let's say. And then I wanted to talk to you about Marek's disease, because I've had an entire flock die of it many years ago, but I still remember how it looked and how it felt. And yeah, it was 10 birds and they completely died, all of them. It started with one and then all the others started to show the same symptoms. And that's actually how I caught it in this bird that I had here. And yes, I cannot be 1000% sure that it was exactly Mareks, but it did match exactly all the symptoms, all the onset and how it developed. And now that bird has died. I had to ask somebody to come and euthanize it for me because I couldn't bring myself to do it, but he was in too much pain, so it needed to be done. He couldn't hold his neck up anymore. And I just wanted to talk to you about how I spotted and how, yes, I hope I caught it in time, but definitely I didn't catch it in time for the other birds to not be exposed to it, because being exposed to the virus takes then weeks to show the first symptoms. So if he was exposed to it, it was in a time where the chicks were still in my house and they were still very little, because it takes a minimum of 3 weeks to show the first symptoms. And when I checked back on my videos, I realized I had a video where you could see this chicken was starting to have some issues with one of his legs. And then I don't have a video of it, of when I caught it, because I was, to be honest, I was too sad of seeing this in my flock, and I didn't even think about taking a video of it. So however, one day I come to check on my chickens, and one of them is having a paralysis in one leg and one wing. It was not a full-time paralysis, meaning that it could still walk and it could still eat and go around, and he was trying his best to look as if nothing was wrong. But every once in a while he was walking, the leg would give out. I think that's how you say it. The leg couldn't support his weight anymore for like a split second. Or the problem was that together with the leg, also the wing would give out. So the wing would start drooping to the floor. And this happened a few times. So the first time I was like, no, maybe I'm wrong. But then when I saw it happening 2-3 times, I just knew I had to separate this bird from the rest of the flock, and that's what I did. And unfortunately, from there things went very worse very quickly, and he started to not be able to walk, and he would still try to walk, but he was just not able to walk anymore. And yeah, in the end it progressed until he couldn't even hold up his neck anymore, and his beak would touch the ground almost all of the time, and he would just manage to eat a little bit, and then he couldn't even eat anymore or drink anymore. And so yeah, that was unfortunately the story. If you don't know, Mareks disease is caused by a virus that develops by growing tumors on the nerves of the chickens. So what happens is that if chickens develop the symptoms, they usually end up dying, but if they don't, their symptoms never reverse. So if they stop working because of it, they are never going to get better from that. So that's why the improvement I've seen in my chicken, in Polpetta, is a good improvement. It shows that at least now he's not being affected by it. However, it doesn't mean that he's not going to be affected by it in the future. And it might still be in my flock, this virus. It's very difficult to get rid of it, and it's very difficult to sanitize. The virus itself can stay inactive even up to a year inside of a chicken coop. So it can seem like it's the end of the world. But I would like to leave you with a message of hope. I've had it before, and I've had successful flocks after that one. So you can also buy chicks that are vaccinated for Mareks disease, and they tend to develop it less and survive more. So that's one option. But for example, in my case, I was not able to find any hatchery that would vaccinate their chicks. So I'm just going to, I'm just going to wing it and hope for the best. I will keep you updated. I of course hope that all my updates are going to be great and that I'm not going to have Mareks in my flock anymore, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.